about comedy and all things cash. So if you guys are an entrepreneur, if you are the front face of your business, and you want to learn how to make money using comedy, today's live is for you. Angeldoves, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Claudine Ullman. I am a professional comedian and coach, and for the last 15 years, I have been working with Fortune 500 companies like Ogilvy, Mercedes-Benz, Unilever, to take them to the next level in their business using comedy techniques. And I want to take all of the information that I have learned from working with these global conglomerates, from working with big time comedians, from working with Emmy-nominated writers, to package it up and give you the system that I share with them to create cash flow using comedy techniques and give it to you guys. So today is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be discussing. I see there's quite a lot of people joining me on TikTok, which is fantastic. Feel free to go crazy in the comments, ask questions, and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It means the world to me. It means the world to the channel. And then I know that I am producing content that you guys want to hear. So I want to get started just by sharing my story, if that is okay, to let you know how I came across the system, how I discovered it, and how I've used it over the last 15 years to impact hundreds of lives using comedy and comedy techniques. So I just want to know, before we start, how many of you are coaches, consultants on the front end of your business, you're entertainers, and you don't know how to turn your voice into cash? You don't know how to turn yourself into a business, okay? How many of you want to be the authority in your industry? Want to be known as the best at what you do? How many of you want to make insane amounts of cash using your genius, by accessing your superpowers, by pursuing your passions? I'm here to tell you that it is possible. I have done it with big companies, and now I want to share it with you. So let me tell you how I discovered the system, which is my proprietary, that is such a hard word to say. It is my framework called the Comedy Cashflow Formula. And the way I came up with it is I actually worked with, let me go back to how I discovered my passion and the fact that I could earn money from my passions, because I think that that story is important in laying the foundation for the work that we're going to be doing today. So I basically went to WITS, I went to drama school, I went to go and study performance and acting, and I always I have known that I want to be in front of the camera, that I want to be performing, I want to have my voice out there. And I went to university and had bought into the lie, like so many of us, that by going to university, I was guaranteed success, I was guaranteed stability, I was guaranteed, a real life job, which wasn't the case at all. Okay. So I finished university, and I remember I took my little CV, which maybe had 2 lines on it. I was so proud of the CV, with some acting work that I'd done, and I went to go and see the biggest agent in the country at the time, And I remember I was so excited, and I handed over my CV. He didn't even look at the CV. He took one look at me and he said, Claudine, you're too large to be in the industry. Now, how many of you have ever been looked directly in the eye yet felt completely unseen? Because that is truly how I felt. That is what I experienced. And I remember feeling completely worthless, because this wasn't the first time that somebody had told me I was too large. This wasn't the last time that somebody had told me that I was too large, but this was the last time that I would let the opinion of others affect me to such a degree that I was really ready to back out of my life and back out of my career and truly feel that I was unworthy. So I was completely broken from this experience. And I remember I had a vision board, and on my vision board, there was a picture of Amy Poehler. For those of you who don't know, who have been living under a rock and don't know who Amy Poehler is, she is the most fantastic sketch comedian. She was on Saturday Night Live for many, many years. And I had a picture of Amy Poehler on my vision board, and underneath there was a quote that she said, where she said, improv is like the military. We leave no man behind. And I had this huge aha, because I was like, I was feeling completely left behind by an industry that promised me that I would get in according to talent, not according to what I looked like. Okay? And I remember in that moment deciding to stop being an amateur, deciding to stop playing small, and to go all in on myself. I made a decision in that moment to go pro. Now, I had no money. I was completely broke. And I was like, I am going to get to America to go and study where Amy Poehler studied, and to go become so good at improv comedy that they couldn't ignore me. So what did I do? I applied for every single grant across South Africa, and eventually somebody got back to me and I got the grant, and I spent the biggest amount of money that I had ever seen with my eyes on traveling to New York, Chicago, and LA to go to schools like Second City, Upright Citizens Brigade, Magnet Theatre, and go learn everything I could about improv comedy, stand-up comedy, and clowning. And while I was there, I had two ahas, major ahas, life-changing ahas. Aha number one was I looked around in the class with me, and aha number one, let me say, the first aha I had was I realized through all of these courses that I was a comedic genius. Okay? That I had something that was so unique, funny, original about me that I could bring to the world. It was my brand of comedy. Nobody else could do what I do. So I discovered my inner creative comedic genius. That was the first big aha I had. The second big aha I had was I looked around the class and I realized that everyone else in the class was not there to get good at improv comedy or stand-up comedy or clowning, because there were people from all walks of life, all different industries, people were there to use these comedy techniques to get good at life. And something went off in my little brain, bing, 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 that was, this doesn't exist in Africa, this sort of training. I'm not here to get good at improv or good at clowning or good at stand-up. I'm here to get good at me, to get good at life. And I was like, if this doesn't exist in Africa, I'm going to bring this sort of training back to Africa and start the first ever improv comedy training platform for individuals, for corporates, using these stand-up techniques, these comedy techniques, these improv techniques, using my proprietary frameworks. And so Jittery Citizens was born. Now, the reason why this is so important in terms of my evolution is because this trip gave me the certainty, the confidence to know that I had a voice, I had a message, and if these techniques could have this sort of impact on my life, what could it do for the lives of others? So I came back to South Africa, started Jittery Citizens, and the first ever corporate client I worked with was Ogilvy, South Africa. And I remember I went into Ogilvy and I did, I don't know, it was a 6 weeks training, 8 weeks training, where I was working with the creatives and the strategists, coming up with a system from brief to brainstorm to boardroom, and helping these people access their comedic genius. And that's what I needed. I needed one client, one corporate, one situation where I could say, right, I have a platform to share my genius with these people. And now, after doing it for corporates and for big time celebrities for the last 15 years, I want to share that genius with you guys, with the entrepreneurs, with the business owners, with the coaches, the consultants, the comedians. For so long, I was a comedian, I was a performer, I was even a business owner who knew nothing about entrepreneurship. So this all changed for me when I came into Russell Brunson's world and Eileen Wilder's world. And I realized that if I want to really level up and start earning money as a comedian, start earning money, and I'm talking about money that you can live on and money you can survive on as a coach, as a business owner, I need to start learning how to become an entrepreneur. But not only an entrepreneur, because every time I have tried to get good at the thing, comedy, stand-up, improv, coaching, and not try to get good at me and my brilliance, I have failed big time. Now, failure is a brilliant thing because it sets us along the right path. In improv comedy, we see failure as an opportunity to happen. Failure as an opportunity for comedy to happen. So I've decided to go on this entrepreneur journey and not get good at entrepreneurship, but get good at discovering who Claudine is as an entrepreneur, and how I can learn and integrate everything that I have learned over the last 15 years into running a business that smashes it. So my big goal, my big dream is to earn £1 million. That is the big thing. I've earned lots of rands and I've earned loads of money in South Africa, but now it's how do I earn loads of money in pounds? So I want you guys to follow me on this journey as I go from 0k or £0, I should say, to £1 million by implementing the system that worked for me in South Africa, this comedy cash flow system. How do I implement it? How do we implement it together? So I want you to join me on this mission, on this journey to become the leading authority in your field. And how do you work towards your goal, whatever your goal is? Mine is £1 million. What is yours? So I'm going to work on sharing the system. I'm going to work on the highs, the lows of entrepreneurship, of starting again in a new country, the highs and lows of scaling, of going global. And I'm going to share everything along that journey with you. Some of it is going to be raw and tough and difficult, and other parts are going to be fun and exciting and joyous. So if you guys are looking to learn more about the Comedy Cashflow Formula, to join me on this journey to £1 million and beyond, I want you to make sure that you like, you follow, you subscribe. I also will put a link to my Comedy Cashflow Formula guide, which is worth over £500, and I am going to be selling that guide, that formula, so we can work along, we can go through the system together for $29.99. Okay, and I want you guys to join me on this journey to building a successful business and a brand using comedy techniques. Here is to starting again, to failing massively, to doing it publicly. The beautiful thing about doing it publicly, the beautiful thing about going live and doing it on my platform and sharing my wins and my losses and everything that I go through with you is that it holds me accountable. So I want to create a community where we are accountable for becoming the face, the authority in our industry, for using these techniques to create big time cash flow, and to really be able to pursue your passions and make money from pursuing your passions. So for those of you who are feeling like it is impossible, I want you to know it is possible. I'm doing it. I'm in it. I'm starting again. I'm starting again in a new city where I don't have the same network yet. And I'm building and I'm growing and we're doing it together. So join the community, purchase the guide, and let us do this together. Angeldoves, I will see you tomorrow. You guys have been awesome. Remember to stay hilarious.